What is up, guys? It's Eric, and I wanted to do a video on psychedelics on the sense that I've shared my mushroom experience, I've shared my LSD acid experience, my experience with microdots. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that there is benefits to psychedelics. In 2018, there was a study done that reported even that psychedelics may actually rewire the brain and help massively with anxiety. When you talk to a lot of different therapists out there, everybody's always going to tell you, just like with me, I'm not condoning to go out and do any psychedelics of any kind. But there are a lot of studies out there that do show that there are actually mental health and mental illness benefits to psychedelics. And I want to share both sides of it because there is a different side to it. And it's not something to say, hey, this is what's going to happen if you use it and it's going to help you. No, because again, there are people that can tell you from numerous different experiences that psychedelics have had a very bad effect on them. But there are also those that will tell you that there's a good effect. And I think that it's very big that, especially when you're dealing with mental illness and how much trial and error is out there, that you share all sides of it. And so I got with a friend of mine named Kat, and she was willing to share with me her experience with psychedelics. If you're new to my channel, hit the like and subscribe button. It's all about mental health, mental illness, suicide awareness, sobriety, having a little bit of fun, but bringing as much awareness as we can to bridge the gap between a crisis hotline and therapy. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm none of that. My name is Eric. I deal with ADHD, PTSD, GAD, and MDD. Those are my diagnoses. I lost a wife and a father to suicide. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict, and I like to share all the experiences that I can. So I got with Kat on her experiences with psychedelic. Now, Kat is a friend of mine, and she does a lot when it comes to like glass blowing. She is very creative when it comes to actually what she does for a living. It's awesome when I meet somebody and what they do for a living is actually their passion. I think it's very, very important to have that. And psychedelics actually play a role in this. And she was willing to actually go in and share about it. Now, again, this doesn't say, hey, go out and do psychedelics by any means, but it's one of those that have an open mind because there are different benefits. Everything is trial and error. And what works for somebody may not work for somebody else. And I want to show and share at least what the other side of psychedelics is, because all the experiences that I've shared are, hey, this is a horrible, horrible thing to do. I am very big on sobriety, but I'm also, when it comes to psychedelics and it comes to weed itself, I mean, in the state of California, marijuana is legal. You can go buy it. So it does have medical benefits to it. Same when it comes to shrooms. It's one of the hardest things you can actually ask a therapist about or a counselor about is what their idea and what they feel about psychedelics, because they're going to tell you always no. But if you really get them to open up to you about what their feelings are, it's a very, very torn subject. So that's why I wanted to share both ends of it. So here is Kat sharing about what psychedelics and her experience with psychedelics is like. And you know what? Hopefully maybe this helps somebody out there understand maybe why they've resorted to psychedelics.
My name is Kat, or Caitlin is my real name. I'm a glass blower. I live in Orange County, California. I think just experimenting in high school after trying like marijuana and stuff, it was more of just like they were brought to me, sort of. I didn't really seek them out. It was more of a offering. And my first psychedelics I ever tried were mushrooms. And then I moved on to like acid and LSD and stuff. My favorite psychedelic is definitely mushrooms. Mushrooms make me feel good. If you take the right dose of them for yourself, they make you feel good. But it's more of just like a creative high. It makes you feel happy and light. But yeah, I would say definitely mushrooms. Okay, so with mushrooms, the worst experience I've ever had, it's not necessarily like one typical experience that I remember. It's more of just if I ever ate too much of them or if I didn't ingest them properly, and I'll get into that too. But if I didn't like take them properly or eat before and prepare or hydrate, then it's more of just like really bad stomach aches and I have to go poop, and sometimes it's not the most pleasant, or I have thrown up on mushrooms before, but like purging like makes you feel good and like helps you release those things. And once the psilocybin's like in your body, you're still going to trip, so it's not like, oh man, I threw up my mushrooms, now it's over. Like, you're still tripping. So it's not like, I don't know, it's not so bad because it makes you feel so good to like release that feeling that you're like, you feel like a breath of fresh air, you know? But I usually take my mushrooms in like little capsules. I grind them up and then put them in capsules and then take them that way. And each capsule probably holds like about like 0.2 or so. So I'll take like a few capsules, do like a microdose and see how I'm feeling, and then just take more capsules, because mushrooms are really strong on my stomach. Like, me personally, I don't know about other people, because I've seen people eat mushrooms like chips. So like, and that's disgusting. Like, the smell of mushrooms is gross to me, but I like the feeling they give me, so. I think the best experience I ever had was probably like the second or third time I ever did mushrooms. I was with my friends Kylie and Kane, and we were at the beach down in Oceanside, California, and we're at this beach that was like right along the harbor and stuff, so there was these jetties to walk on. I remember we like staked out a fire pit and we had our stuff all laid out, and then we took our mushrooms and we went on like a little walk on the jetty, like as they were like, you know, about to like come on and stuff. And we walked along the jetty and we came back and we found like a really nice spot in these rocks on the jetty about like halfway down to like sit and chill. And it was crazy because like it just felt like we were sitting there for like 2 minutes, and then as soon as we got comfortable, it just like hit us, and it was like, I don't even know how to explain it. There's like this like, it's like foghorn sound, I guess, in the background, because we're like kind of by the harbor and all these boats, and just the sound of the ocean and the waves and just the water like below us, like you could hear like everything, it sounded like, and it was like lulling us like into this trip, you know? And then we finally felt like, we're like, dang, like how long have we been sitting here? And it started like, you know, the sun started like kind of going down and stuff. We weren't there for like more than like 30 minutes or so, but it felt like such a long time. We're like, okay, let's go like watch the sunset over by like with our stuff and by the bonfire and whatever, get a little fire pit going and stuff. And I don't know, we just like watched the sunset, and there was this crazy like, I don't know, when I do psychedelics, I see this crazy, it's like green like letters and numbers and like symbols and all these like sequences and patterns and stuff, and like it's like hieroglyphs, like languages I've never even seen before, like all these letters and shit that like, it's like a film on my eyes that like covers everything. And if I focus on it, like things in front of me, like if I'm focusing on my hand, like I'll see that pattern on my hand, but then everything behind it also has that pattern on it as well. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know how to explain it. It's trippy, and I don't know, like people that I tell this to, they're like, what the fuck? Like, but it happens when I like, that's how I know that I'm tripping, I'm in there, is when I start seeing that. And like, that's, I don't know, that's usually when things start getting a little bit like weird. It's a little bit less creative and a little bit unproductive, but yeah. I would definitely say it does, as long as I don't take too much, obviously, because then I just get really distracted by things that are not creative and stuff, or just whatever. So, but if I do like my little capsules and stuff and I take a few, then I feel like it definitely helps with just like my glass blowing or my thinking in general, as far as like a piece that I'm making or a project that I'm working on or something that I want to make in the future. I feel like that definitely helps. Honestly, I don't do it that often. It's more of like weed fueled work. I feel like mushrooms definitely does make me more creative. If I have time to like be creative, but I feel like I have a lot of work and stuff sometimes to do, so I don't want my creativity to like interfere with my work because I have like a standard of work that I do, and I don't know, I want to keep up to that standard, you know? And like getting a little bit too creative and a little bit too fun on mushrooms might take away from something that I'm really trying to like do and make consistent.
Kat, thanks so much for sharing that, and I hope that this video does help somebody out there. Down below linked, I have Kat's Instagram. I also have links to the glass work that she does, because it does open up different parts of your mind where you're able to find a different creative side of you. When it comes to any kind of medication or anything that does alter our brain patterns, it does unlock different areas of our brain, and it's scientifically proven. So just remember this, that if you're struggling out there, always reach out for help. Don't be afraid to reach out for help, because you're not alone in what you're going through. You'd be surprised how many people struggle in so many different areas out there. So hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below. I'd love to hear your responses on this. When it comes to the description, hit that, open it up. I have links to all my different social medias. I have links again to Kat's Instagram, to her glass blowing shop online. If you want to check out her glass work. Even have links to things on Amazon like fidget cubes, fidget spinners, things that I use for anxiety to help me fight through, like weighted blankets and all of that. Even have a link down below to BetterHelp, because it is trial and error to find out what works for you. And what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. But again, it's trial and error about finding out what works for you, because you're the most important person in the world. Even have a link down below to Renewal Recovery, which is a mental health recovery. And again, that's 30-day inpatient. And that's intensive therapy along with trial and error to get your meds on track, to get your head on track, because the more that you take care of this, the more that you're able to fight through. So remember that you're a BAMF. You're a badass motherfucker. You've made it through 100% of your worst days and make it through 2 today. So hit that like and subscribe button, and let's do this together.